Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Harbir. Welcome to this session about the AI gap assessment checklist, right? So you can see that this is one of the very critical and important document, right? So it talks about the gap assessment. It's an Excel sheet, right? And it doesn't contain detailed data. It is just for the purposes of the demonstration, right? But what is the importance? What is the value of this checklist, right? You can see in the Excel sheet, you have the gap assessment checklist tab open, right? So first you have the clause, you have the requirement summary here, current implementation status, evidence available, gap identified, recommendation action, and responsible owner and target completion date. So this checklist is super valuable not only from the external auditor point of view, but from the internal audit point of view as well, right? Whether the client is going through an internal audit or client is going through an external audit, you are an internal auditor, you are an external auditor. This document is really valuable. Again, not only from the audit point of view, but from the core AI development point of view as well. This is equally important for the AI leadership as well, right? So you have the beauty of this document here is that the clauses are mapped, right? And then the respective requirement summary is there. For clause 4, you have this kind of summary, context of the organization defined for AI systems. The current status is that it is partially implemented. Now, what evidence is there to support this particular statement? Business strategy document is there. You have reviewed the business strategy document that is being given by the organization, whether you are an internal auditor or an external auditor. Then the gap that you have identified in this particular document, in this particular requirement, is that AI scope not formally defined. So it is very important to define the scope, right? So whatever gaps are identified, it is mentioned. Then what you are recommending as an auditor, define the AI scope and document the organizational context. Who is the owner of this particular gap? Who will be fulfilling or closing this gap? AI governance lead will be closing. What is the target date? This is the target date. Now, this can be used internally as well, as I mentioned, and it can be used externally as well. You are not providing the solution, but you are providing the high level, thing that they have to do, right? So let's say clause number 5, you have the leadership commitment to AI governance. It is partially implemented, right? So it gives you a fair idea of which requirement belongs to which clause and what is the current status, whether it is not implemented at all, whether it is partially implemented, whether it is fully implemented, not completed, or that. So where the client stands at this point in time, as far as the AIMS implementation is concerned, this document gives you that fair idea. So after 6 months, if you review this document, a lot of things which are partially implemented should be in the completed state. A couple of new things might have been added as well, right? And this is for the one specific AI system. Now you might have a different gap assessment checklist for different AI systems. For example, your internal organization or your client is actually dealing with 5 different AI systems. One is the product recommendation, one is the recruitment system, and all those things, right? So you might have the checklists for different systems, and the scope of your auditing might change according to this. Whatever is partially implemented, of course, it doesn't make too much sense for us to review that particular AIMS AI management system which is partially implemented, or that particular requirement which is partially implemented, right? So you have to align your scope accordingly. So this again connects a lot of interesting facts. This again connects a lot of dots together. It tells you how the clause is related to the requirement summary and how these are related to the current status. What is the available evidence, right? CTO statement on AI ethics is there. Training records of data scientists are there, right? Model development documentation is there, right? So there will be a lot of evidences for you to evaluate, visualize, go through, check, right? And then you have to identify the gaps. These are the gaps, right? And then if you recall, we talked about the final outcome of the auditing, and then you talk about the NCs, non-compliances. NCs can be major or minor, right? So you might want to decide, not actually decide, but you might want to have a higher level understanding of the NCs that are coming across your way for the fully implemented. If the features are fully implemented, but still there are problems, then there could be NCs. possibly, not always mandatorily, right? So that is there, and then you have this definition. Status implemented means the requirement is fully implemented. Partially implemented is this definition, and not implemented means this definition, right? So very simple and important checklist, but it contains a very valuable information, very, very important information. It gives you a very valuable higher level overview of the system, their status and all that. It connects the dots, and it gives you the recommendation as well, the timelines, how much serious the client is as far as the implementation and the closure of these points are concerned, right? All right. So thank you for your time. I hope you have enjoyed the session. So keep learning and keep rocking. Thank you.